Hi folks, I just want to tell you that if you are not a cigarette smoker and if you're not wanting to quit smoking, you will not enjoy this video. Okay, I'm just telling you ahead of time. I made this video for people that smoke cigarettes that want to quit smoking. So if that doesn't apply to you, then please just exit the video and go on, watch something else. But I made this video specifically for my viewers out there, my subscribers that smoke cigarettes that want to quit, that really want to quit. Okay, so that's who this is for. And again, if you're not a smoker, there are no jokes in this video. There's nothing to laugh about. It's not at all entertaining. Okay, this is to help someone, hopefully help my subscribers to quit smoking if they want to. Okay, well, go ahead and, like I said, if it's not something that appeals to you, go ahead and watch something else. Okay, all right, thanks, bye. I don't buy new cars, I don't buy brand names, I go to Goodwill for my clothes. I like to save money, I like to find bargains, it's the life I chose. I throw nothing away, I'll find a use another day for all this junk I keep. My neighbors all hate me, they abuse and berate me, 'cause I like doing it cheap. Yeah, I like doing it cheap. Welcome to another episode of Doing It Cheap. Well, how y'all doing? The old PawPaw ain't doing it cheap today. No, sir. I ain't doing it cheap. I figured, by God, if a man that smoked cigarettes for 40 years can quit for a whole year, he deserves a little reward. So I went and I bought me some original Big Brother hard root beer. And some bitch is $7.49 for a 6-pack. God almighty, that's $1.25 each. And I deserve it. Yep. I'm going to sit here and I'm going to pat myself on the back. I'm going to be obnoxious as hell because I earned it. And the reason I'm posting this video is not to brag about the fact that I quit smoking. The reason I'm posting this video is to help you if you're wanting to quit smoking. Because I'm going to tell you how I did it. Okay? And I think that there is absolutely nothing worse than a reformed smoker whenever you still smoke. They come around. You know, I quit that. You ought to quit that. That ain't good for you. You ought to quit that. By God, when you're ready to quit, you'll quit. And let me tell you something. It's been a year. And I still would love to have a cigarette. However, I know exactly what will happen if I have another. My throat will close up. My nasal passages will close up. I won't be able to breathe. Get that taste to be so nasty in my mouth, and then I will feel about that big because I quit for so long and picked them back up. If you want to quit, I mean really want to quit, I'm going to help you, and I'm going to tell you how to do it. But you got to want to. And you got to want to quit more than anything else in the world. You can't say, well, you know, I'd kind of like to quit smoking. Maybe I'll try to quit for a few days. It don't work that way. Now, if you go back to my video that I posted at 4:18 in the morning on January 18th, you will see me sitting right here at this very same table and dumping my cigarette tobacco in the garbage can and watering down my cigarette papers. That was the turning point in my life right there. I said, by God, I'm going to quit. And I mean it this time. And I'm proud of myself because it's been a year. It's so funny, I went, I don't know, several weeks before my wife even noticed. And let me tell you, my little grandson, he was 6 years old at the time. He had gone with his mother to a friend's house in another town, and she smoked cigarettes, and he was telling his mother, you know, that Miss So-and-so's breath stinks, and her house stinks, and her clothes stink. And my daughter said, yeah, well, she smokes cigarettes. And I was visiting at my daughter's house, and my grandson says to me, ooh, PawPaw, your breath stinks, your clothes stink, you smell like Miss So-and-so because you smoke cigarettes. But my daddy says you can't help it. Now, what kind of example are you setting for your own grandchildren when they say to you, well, I know that you can't help it, when you know damn good and well you can? I mean, it pulled at my heartstrings. It almost made me cry when he says, it's okay, PawPaw, my daddy says you can't help it. Oh man, of course I could help it. It's just a matter of wanting to. And when you smoke, you don't notice how bad it smells. You don't notice that your car or pickup truck stinks. You don't notice that your clothes stink. You don't notice that it makes a room in your house stink. It used to piss me off. I'd be sitting out here well away from my wife. I mean, trying to find one freaking room in the house that I can have to myself where I can sit and smoke a cigarette, watch television. Is there not one fucking room I can have? But the problem is that stink goes throughout the whole freaking house. It won't stay in that one room. And, you know, I pick up a piece of clothing, you know, after a month, and it still smells like cigarettes. Go, oh God, oh. Or I come out of Walmart one day and there's an employee standing out there and he's smoking a cigarette, and they're supposed to, they've got a designated smoking area, and I mean it just choked me up. And I'm not usually one to complain about something like that. However, this guy was, you know, on his break at work wearing his Walmart smock, and Walmart had an area right over there for them to smoke at, and he's standing right by the front door. And it just almost knocked me down. And this is, I've probably been off of the cigarettes maybe 6 months. And I went and told the manager about it. I said, I don't mean to be such a pain in the ass. I said, but I quit smoking a few months ago. And your boy's out there smoking right by the door, and I know y'all got a smoking area. I said, he ain't supposed to be smoking there. Ain't nobody supposed to be smoking by the door. Anyway, I said, well, look, don't jump his butt or nothing. Just, you know, remind everybody. I said, because, you know, 6 months ago, I wouldn't have noticed. But how did I do it? Well, I didn't get no patches. I didn't get no vape. None of that water vapor crap. I quit smoking. I said, I'm going to quit. And I threw my tobacco away, and I threw my rolling papers away. And I said, that's it. I'm not going to do it no more. That's it. I'm not going to smoke anymore. And when you decide that you are not going to do something ever again, you'll do it. Or when you decide that you are going to do something, you'll do it. But you have to decide for yourself, and you have to make sure that it's right for you. And you can't do it half-heartedly. It's got to be something you really want. Because if you really just saying, well, you know, I'd kind of like to quit, it ain't going to work. It ain't going to work. You're going to have to make a life-changing decision. And one of the reasons I decided to quit was here I was, 290 pounds, you know, 100 pounds overweight and smoking, and 58-year-old. If that is not a prime candidate for a heart attack, I don't know who is. You know, 100 pounds overweight and smoking cigarettes. Well, I noticed I was very short of breath. I'd be kicked back in my recliner in front of the TV asleep at night. That daggum 85-pound dog would climb up, lay on my belly and my chest, diaphragm, and all of a sudden I can't breathe. I was gasping for air. And I realized them cigarettes make me short of breath. So I decided, you know, if I want to spend any time with my grandson, I'm going to have to quit this smoking. But it was him saying that to me that is what, you know, flipped my switch, made me, you know, go into quit smoking mode. And all I can tell you is, if you really and truly want to quit, you have to quit. You have to get set in your mind, I'm not going to do this anymore. And you've got to throw away your tobacco. If you got rolling papers, you got to throw them away. You cannot have access to tobacco in the event of a weak moment. I mean, as much as 2 months ago or a month ago, something happened that really upset me, and I felt myself reaching for a cigarette. You know, 11 months quit, and I felt myself reaching for a cigarette because I was really upset about something. And it's just a habit. I don't need a cigarette. My body is no longer craving nicotine. It's just a habit. And, you know, I can sit here and say, boy, I sure did like smoking. I really enjoyed that taste. But if anybody that doesn't smoke will tell you, kissing somebody that does smoke is like licking an ashtray. It's nasty. And your teeth fall out. Hell, I don't know, I've probably got 10 teeth missing. And smoking affects other things that we won't go into of a personal nature. So if that ain't, I mean, that's a pretty good reason to quit right there. But just quit. Just, by God, decide when you're going to quit. You can't just say, all right, I'm quitting right now because I watched PawPaw's video. You got to set a date. You got to say, you know, next Saturday morning when I get up, all my tobacco is going to be gone and I'm not going to have that first cigarette. Or, you know, so by God, when this pack of cigarettes is gone, I ain't smoking no more. And you've got to, you know, you've got to plan for it. Because if you just sort of do it half-heartedly in the middle of the day when you're smoking cigarettes, you know, it just don't work. It helps if you're able to get some sleep. You know, after you've had your last cigarette, it helps if you're able to get some sleep, because just those few hours of not having a hit of nicotine, just those few hours will help give you a bit of a buffer. You know, because what's the first thing you do in the morning? Grab a cup of coffee and a cigarette. First thing. But if you don't grab that cigarette, all of a sudden you realize you don't need it. And the average craving lasts less than 5 minutes. You can walk around the house, you can go wash your hands, you can walk to the street and back, you can go out to your car and back. Do something. If you're craving a cigarette, do something for that 5 minutes. Just do something. And then the craving will be gone. And when you get another craving, just remind yourself that it's only temporary. It doesn't last long. It really doesn't. And just remind yourself that you are stronger than a little rolled up tube of tobacco. You're stronger than that. You're better than that. You're a better person than someone addicted to a paper tube full of tobacco. You can beat it. All you gotta do is want to. And it ain't easy. It's not easy. But you can do it. You have to believe in yourself. And you need to tell everybody you can possibly tell that you quit smoking. You tell your spouse. You tell your children. You tell your neighbors. You tell your grocer. You tell your guy at the gas station. You tell everybody that you quit smoking. Because it's going to reinforce it. It's going to reinforce it in your mind that you quit. Because you'd be embarrassed as hell to light up again after you done told your wife and your kids and your family and your neighbors and your dog and everybody else that you quit. That's just one more little thing to help you. You can do this. If you really want to quit, you can quit. And I don't mean to sound holier than thou. I'm not. It's just that I know that if any of us believe in ourselves, if you believe in yourself, you can do this. All you got to do is want to. You can quit smoking cigarettes. All you got to do is say, I'm done. On this date, I'm done. You know, if this is the first time to see this video and you're thinking about quitting smoking, watch this video again maybe tomorrow. Watch it 2 or 3 days. Plan on next week quitting. Give yourself time to get used to the idea that you're not going to be a smoker anymore. That you're going to be a quitter. I know you've been told all your life, don't ever be a quitter. I'm telling you to be a quitter. Quit it. Give up. Quit. Quit smoking. Give up the tobacco. Quit lighting up. You can do it. Do it for your children. Do it for your spouse. Do it for your significant other. Do it for yourself. Have a wonderful day and a better tomorrow. Bye.